Hey y'all, this is Veronica. So I'm just gonna do my makeup, get ready with me, chit chat type situation, talk about some things. I'm using Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I use the same stuff all the time though, so what up though? Um, I don't know. I don't really have anything that I really want to talk about. I don't think. I don't know. I guess we could just talk about life being positive, that kind of stuff. So, I think that people, and especially like in our time and age and things going on right now, everyone wants to keep up with everybody else. Like they don't want to keep up with themselves. So, I always tell, I have a twin sister. Her name's Jessica, by the way. We're identical, but we don't really look alike. So I always tell Jessica, my sister, that people need to keep up with themselves. Like, you don't need to keep up with the Joneses, you need to keep up with yourself. Because the thing is, I feel like everyone is so obsessed with, oh, this person's doing this person has this person's doing this, that they forget what they themselves need to be doing for themselves, right? Like, so just because one person has a Mercedes Benz and you're driving a Honda, that doesn't make you any less because you're driving your Honda, right? That just means that's where you're at in your life and what you need to be doing. I don't understand why people feel like they have to keep up with everyone else. Like, you need to prove nothing to no one. You need to prove everything to yourself, though. People need to learn, and especially younger age people, because I'm only 27, so I'm not that old. People need to learn and understand that you're not going to be able to get everything that you want. It's just not going to happen. That's not realistic. That's not how life works. People have bills, people have things they need to pay for. For example, my husband and I, and pause, I have to do my eyebrows. I need a mirror. My husband and I recently purchased a house in January in Charlotte, North Carolina, and there were a lot of things we wanted or we wished we could have in our house. We wanted so many upgrades. We wanted this, we wanted that, we wanted this, we wanted that. What you have to understand is you have to do what's feasible for you. Again, not keeping up with the Joneses, but keeping up with yourself. You've got to keep up with yourself. You've got to understand when to say no. You've got to know how to say no. You like all of these things should have been basic things that we learned when we were younger, but not for everybody. You just have to understand that everybody is not meant to have the same things. And you've got to be grateful for what you have and what you're doing and what position you're in your life. At the end of the day, it's you. You have to go to sleep at the end of the day being happy with yourself. And if you're not happy with yourself, what's the point of any of it, right? It doesn't make any sense. So that's the first thing. And I feel like that just comes up more often because people are trying to, oh, well, I'm moving here and I want to get this expensive apartment and I need this rent is $2,000 and you can't even pay your $150 car note. Like, people need to get realistic with themselves, and I don't understand why they don't. I guess people are ashamed, people are embarrassed, but there's really nothing to be ashamed about because you have got to think to yourself, this is not where you're going to be the rest of your life. If it is where you are at, like if this is your stopping point in life, then you're not doing much anyway, and that's like a whole different discussion and different thing that you need to address. But you've got to understand, this is a just for right now thing. So that is something. Don't keep up with Joneses. Keep up. Can I talk? Don't keep up with the Joneses. Keep up with yourself. And that also ties into you've got to have action behind everything you're doing. You've got to be productive in this life. So you're only given one, and you really need to do what you want to do with your life. No one owes you anything. You got the same basic education, same basic as everyone else. Elementary, middle, and high school. If you went to college, sure, everybody doesn't. But everybody gets the same same foundation. I guess that's what it is. Everyone has the same foundation. Everyone starts off the same. So you can't blame the next person. You can't blame your mom. You can't blame your dad. You can't blame your grandmother for things you don't have. You should blame yourself, though. That's definitely who you need to be blaming. It's only so much that other people can do for you. If you don't want to do for yourself, what's the point? So you've got to attract what you want to have, and you've got to be positive. So, for example, I recently just started listening to podcasts. So, small doses by Amanda Seal. I'll link it down below. That's a really good podcast. You need to do things positive, things that are going to add to your life, things that are contributing to your life. Not everything has to be negative. Like, you need to do things that are enriching your life and taking you towards a positive direction, right? So, for example, for me, podcasts, I recently started listening to podcasts. I recently started doing journaling. Well, I try to do journaling. I'm not much of a writer, but like you kind of need to like write your thoughts out, because some people, if they don't, they're like all over the place. I kind of use my phone for that, but whatever you need to do, that's something to consider. Um, Also, this is Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Also, reading. I've gotten into reading. So I just recently started reading You Are Badass, which was recommended to me by a friend. And she has a blog too, so I'll link that down below. But that's a really good book too. Not necessarily that you need to do a bunch of self-help whatever, but these are just things that are can genuinely help you, and you need to like have some positivity. Like, everything does not need to be negative. It starts to become mundane when you are waking up every day, going to work, putting your makeup on, eating lunch, eating dinner, watching TV, go to sleep, repeat. Like, it becomes a lot. And I tell my husband this all the time. It becomes a lot, and you kind of have to watch what you're doing, because you don't want to set yourself into a routine. Because usually when you start getting into routines, you start getting complacent, and complacency is no good, girl. Because when you get complacent, you don't want to do anything new. You don't want to learn anything new. You are missing out on new experiences. Like, you're missing out on everything. And complacency is just not, there's nothing good about it. So you've got to do things that are bringing some positivity into your life. You got to be productive. You need to be your best self, whatever that is. If your best self is waking up in the morning and going to class, getting there on time, passing your test. If your best self is going to work, your 8 to 5, excelling at that. If your best self is making a video, doing your at-home business, entrepreneurial, whatever it is, you've got to be your best self daily. And it takes a lot of work, which I have learned, especially moving to Charlotte, because now I'm living here. I work from home, so I don't have just a lot of friends to hang out with. Of course, I have my husband and I have friends back at home, but not necessarily one in Charlotte that I've necessarily met who I just want to be hanging out with all the time, every day, or anything of that nature. So you kind of have to be your best self. Like, you're your biggest cheerleader. No one else is going to root you on or be there for you if you can't do it for yourself, right? So this is what you have to understand, and this is what you have to do. Nothing in your life will ever change if you're sitting on your couch every day. Nothing in your life is ever going to change if you do the same exact thing every single day and you do nothing different. Why would you think anything would change if you're not doing anything differently yourself, right? That makes sense. It seems like an easy concept. I have to get my beauty blender. It seems like an easy concept, but it's so hard to do because you can get so complacent and you can get in a rut, and it sucks. But that's really what That's what it is. Like, you don't want to become complacent. You want to keep being your best self, whatever that is for you. So for me, I'm trying to get into podcasts. I'm trying to read positive books. I'm trying to every day go outside, get in some fresh air, get in some sun. Like, there's no point of being negative and I hate the world and I'm this and I'm that if you're not trying to change anything about it. Like, if you need to do something different, girl, do something different. Like, don't sit and do the same thing and then blame other people for the circumstance you're in. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, people need to take accountability and responsibility for their own life, for their own actions, for their own self. You're an adult. And no one else owes you anything. So you just need to make it happen for yourself. And that's what, the sooner you realize that, the easier everything will become for you. Because you have to understand, nothing's owed to you. Nobody owes you anything. And nobody is going to be in your corner more than you are for yourself. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. You need to have some goals. Like, what do you want to do with yourself? What do you want to do in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 3 years? So for my husband and I, owning a house for us was always on our goal list. We wanted to own a house by 30. We were leaning more towards 30, but we just got it a little earlier. I'm 27, he's 28, which is great. But that's not everyone's goal. Everyone's goal is not to own a house. Some people don't want to own a house at all. Some people want to travel the world for the rest of their life. Some people want to be able to rent an apartment. I mean, everyone has different goals. It does not have to be the same exact thing. And you don't have to let anyone tell you what your goals are, what your aspirations should be, what they think is best for you. I mean, of course you can take everybody else's opinion, but at the end of the day, it's about what you want for yourself. And everyone has different goals. And that's just what it is, because we're different people. So just because one friend got a house and has 3 kids and whatever, and you staying at home with your mama and your daddy, that doesn't mean anything. If everyone has different goals, different times they're reaching them, different times it's happening. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, and what it's going to come in at, is when you start becoming complacent, where you're okay with, oh, I'm working this 9 to 5. I don't really want to work it, but I don't really have nothing else to do. Like, make things happen for yourself. Nobody else is going to do anything for you. Other people might help you. Of course, you have family members who are going to support you, but at the end of the day, it's you. So, that's something that I'm learning along the way. Well, not learning. I mean, I already knew that. But, you know, it's just kind of being reinforced daily the more that I'm in Charlotte alone by myself. And, you know, you just kind of have to learn how to just grow up and just, whatever you think is supposed to be happening, if it's not happening, get over it and move on to the next thing. Honestly, that's what it is. And you also have got to surround yourself with like-minded people. That's like the most important thing. You usually, or they say, you are going to attract the type of company that you are. So, like, you need to be around people who have goals, aspirations. Not that it's the same exact, not the same exact things that y'all are wanting to do, but you need to surround yourself with people who have aspirations, who have goals, who are like wanting to do something different in their life. If you're surrounding yourself with someone who just sits on their couch all day, and then you're going over to their house, you sit on the couch all day, that's not helping you in your life, right? So you just want to surround yourself with like-minded people, like-minded individuals. Get out, meet people. I have to drink some Coke. I really shouldn't drink this. This has too much sugar in it, but I love Coke, so whatever. Don't judge me. You've got to surround yourself with like-minded people, like-minded individuals. you've just got to, you have one life, right? So you need to live it and do whatever you think is going to get you where you want to be. Whatever that is, wherever you want to be, you got to do what you got to do. So figure it out, get on it, get with it, and get to it. And also in relation to goals, like things like vision boards, um, things like that. Like write down your goals. Like if you're looking at something, even like in my office, I have a list of things that I want to get accomplished for the year, or your goals for the next 5 years, your goals for the next month, the next day, whatever. Like have a list, have a goal. Like you want to have some aspirations, something you're trying to reach towards, something you're trying to get to. It can just make everything so much easier for you, because that can be the problem too, like a lack of planning. If you're not planning things out and you like don't really have an idea of where you're going, how are you going to get there? Right? You're not. Oh, my contact. If you have no idea where you're going, you're not going anywhere. That's what that is. So you got to figure out what you're doing, what the plan is, figure it out, and just go from there. Even if it's just you don't need to have a big board, you don't need to cut out magazines, you don't need to, we don't have to do all these things. Get a sheet of paper and a pen or a pencil or whatever you need to do, and if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. And it sounds cliche and it sounds like, oh, everybody says this. I'm sick of people hearing that. I'm sick of hearing that, but that's legitimately what it is. Like, just like with anything else, school project, um, a project at work, something you're trying to get done around your house, you need to have a plan for it. You can't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to do all this stuff and I'm about to do this. I wish I could find my makeup brush. I can't ever find anything. That's always a problem. I want to do this, I want to do that, but you have no plan. Like, it becomes overwhelming and it becomes too much. And it just makes you not want to do it, right? At least that's how I am. When I start to do things that are where it's too much for me, I just stop. Legitimately, that's what I do. I legitimately stop and I just don't want to do it anymore. And you think it's because, oh, that's not meant for me, or I'm not supposed to be doing that. That's not what it is. You just didn't make a plan. You're not perseverant, and you just ain't really done nothing else with it. Like, you've got to make a plan for your life. You've got to figure out what it is you're supposed to be doing. First things first, of course you need to pray. I believe in God and Jesus Christ, and I know everyone has their different religious beliefs, but that's what I do. I pray. You need to pray. You need to figure out exactly what path you're supposed to be going on. That's the next thing too. You can't decide in your mind what you want to do if it's not what you're supposed to be doing. Everyone has a purpose in this life of what they're supposed to be doing, and it might not be what your friend is doing and what your mama thought you were supposed to do and what your daddy paid for you to go to school for. That just might not be it. And you just have to accept that and be okay with it. And you have to be okay with being different, and you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. That's something too. People being uncomfortable is like the number one cause of why people are complacent. And it's crazy to me because you can't get uncomfortable for a little bit. You are going to sit at the same job for the next 20 years of your life, but you really know what you're called to do and what you're supposed to be doing, but you just not doing it because you're scared. Like, that's crazy to me. But people are doing it every single day of their lives, and it's crazy. You being uncomfortable, nobody wants to be uncomfortable, but it has to happen. Everyone in their life is going to have a period where they're uncomfortable, they're unsure, they're uncertain, they don't know, and that's just what it is. But eventually, you're going to get to a place where you're okay, and you feel okay, and you're not worried, and you know in your mind, oh, this is what I was supposed to be doing. You will get to that place eventually. But it's just, you've got to make a plan. You've got to have goals. You've got to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. You have got to block the negativity out. You don't want to surround yourself with people and with things who don't want the best for you. Because that's something else too. Some people don't want you to win. Some people want you to fail. A lot of people want you to be miserable. A lot of people want you to not be happy. A lot of people want you to make it, but not get to where they're at. You know? These so-called friends people say they have. A lot of people want you to make it, but just not where they're not to the level they're at, or they want you to make it, but in my midst. Like, you can make it, but not quite where I'm at. Like, I don't want you to have my level of success. People really don't want you to be successful. People want you to do the same thing that they're doing. People want you to be miserable. People want you to not be happy. That's really what that is. And you've got to surround yourself with people who aren't negative, people who really want to see you win, people who are there for you, because everyone is not. And it took me a long time to learn that lesson, and a few friends to learn that lesson. But you've got to understand that everyone does not want to see you win, and everyone does not want to be there for you. And that's just what that is. And you just have to be okay with that. Everyone is not going to be on your team, and everyone is not going to be on your side, or anything of that nature. So that's something you also have to keep in mind too. So not to say that anything is going to be easy or something needs to be handed to you or whatever the case may be, but you've just got to understand, like, your life, you're in charge of what's going on with you. That you are in charge of that. So whatever success looks like to you and what you want to do with your life and what you want your legacy to be, I really need to get a mirror so I can like look directly in the thing, you know? But we'll get there. Whatever you want your legacy to be and whatever you want to be known for, you have the opportunity to impact this world in the way that you want to, and you just need to do that in the best. You've got to do that in the best way that you know how. That's what it is at the end of the day. You have to have positive people around you. You've got to be your cheerleader. Like, you're your number one fan. Like I said again, and everybody does not want to see you. And actually, I don't think I want to do this purple. I think I want to do another color. Everybody does not want to see you win. Everybody does not want you to be successful. People really want you to only be as successful as they were. They don't really want you to do any more. You know? That's really what it is. And it's sad because it seems like we should all be pushing each other to do the best that we can do, but that's not the case. You have got to be your biggest cheerleader, and you've got to watch out for yourself. Because if you don't watch out for yourself, nobody else will watch out for you. You've got to make this life count. You have a purpose. Whatever that purpose is, you need to fulfill that purpose in the best way that you know how. Everybody is not meant to be millionaires. Everybody is not meant to have a 10-bedroom house. Everyone is not meant to be in the NFL, the NBA. Like, this is not it. You can't, whatever your passion is, that's really what you need to work in. I'm not saying you have a job, a 9-to-5 job, and you need to quit it and you need to just give up and just do whatever. No, people have bills, and I completely understand that, but you need to do things that you're passionate about, and things that you really are concerned with and really have a passion for, because things that you love, that's where you're going to see your true color show. And that's something that's very important too. Like, you got to figure out whatever it is you're supposed to be doing, that's what you need to do. And I feel like that's so important, because I feel like some people try so hard to be doing other things. Oh, I need to do this because I'm gonna be making a lot of money doing this, or oh, I need to do this because this is stable, or oh, I need to do this because this is what my mama or my daddy thought I should do. Like, you need to do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, this is your life. You got one. The next day is not promised, and you need to try to live your best life in the best way that you know how. And some people don't know how to do that. Some people need help trying to figure out how to live their best life. It can be very difficult to figure that out, but I mean, you know, you gotta try to figure it out. You need to pray. You need to meditate. You need to take some time out for yourself. Self-care is important. Like, whatever that means for you. If that means you're able to go get a pedicure and a manicure once a month, or if you're able to go every 2 weeks, or go with some friends, you need to take care of yourself, because in order for you to live out your passion and to help affect change in this world and to be a positive influence on other people, you yourself need to be okay. And that's a lot of the problem too. Some people aren't okay. People pretend like they're okay and pretend like they're getting by and they're so happy and they're so this, and they're really not. So you kind of have to keep that in mind too. Like, to be your best, you can't fake being your best self. Like, you've got to, and every day is not going to be rainbows and clouds and sunshine, but you got to try to be positive. You got to try to do the best you can do. And that's all you can do at the end of the day. There's not really anything else that you can do but be your best. I got this mascara from Ulta, Voluminous / Paradise. It's supposed to be comparable to Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Or is it Benefit? I don't know. Better Than Sex mascara in the pink tube. Everybody knows, I'm sure, what I'm talking about. It's pretty good. I like it. It's not as good as Better Than Sex, though, I don't think. But it's not bad. I don't really feel like putting on lashes, so. And then look at my blush. Like, the pan is completely shattered. I'm gonna have to do something with that, huh? But, okay. I don't know. I just feel like people just need to be happy. Whatever that is, be happy. Whether that's you go to your regular job and then you go home and do whatever you're passionate about, but just don't forget to do that, because otherwise you're going to be going through this life pretty miserable. So you just want to, do what's best for you. You cannot always be thinking about other people all the time. Now, of course, if you have children or like other responsibilities, of course I'm not talking about that. But, you gotta, in reason, do the best thing for yourself. Because that's really all you can do. I'm also gonna spray this Urban Decay All-Nighter Spray just because I don't use it and I need to use it, so whatever. This one doesn't smell as good as this one, but I guess this is like with aloe and rose water, so that kind of makes sense. But I don't know, you just gotta do what's best for yourself. Try to stay positive. Try to, this life is a lot, and it's a lot going on, and people, it's a lot. So you want to take care of yourself. You want to surround yourself with positive people. Block out negativity as much as you can. Just whatever that you are able to do to live your best life, to live your most productive life. You just want to do that. That's what it is. So, but I did my makeup. My hair's definitely not done, so don't judge me. I'm probably just gonna put some curls in it with a curl wand. I don't know. I'm not really going anywhere. But this is my look. I will, oh, I gotta rub that in there. I will link everything down below. Just a natural look. Oh, I used the It's My Ray BH Cosmetics collaboration. It's pretty good. It has the eyeshadows. Let me open it up for you. It has the eyeshadows, which I'm trying. Can you? The pen on one of my highlighters broke, which I'm kind of upset about. Let me just kind of dump that out. It has the eyeshadows, and then down here is highlighter. The highlighters are pretty good. And then you have contour. You can use that for contour, bronzer, eyeshadow. And these are the two highlighters. So, and it comes with this mirror, which I love. Mirrors are always good. So. Alrighty, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Okay, hope that helps. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.